Once again, welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, we will be discussing about the recent changes in India's educational policy, particularly the rollback of no-detention policy under Right to Education 2009. Why was this policy rolled back? And what led to the amendment of Right to Education Act rules? And most importantly, how does these changes affect schools, our teachers and our students? Let's take a step back to 2009 when the Right to Education Act was passed. Section 16 of the Right to Education Act stipulated that no child could be held back in any class or expelled from school until they completed their elementary education, that is classes 1 to 8. The idea was simple: ensure that children learn without the pressure of detention. The goal was to make education less stressful and more inclusive for every child. The vision was clear. The no-detention policy aimed to promote learning by removing the threat of failure. It was believed that holding children back could be demoralizing, and by promoting all students, even those who were struggling, they could have a better chance at completing their education without unnecessary pressure. But over time, cracks began to show. The policy, instead of fostering an environment of learning, led to unintended consequences. Many schools, especially government-run ones, stopped conducting any kind of assessments. Teachers were no longer testing their students. Some even resorted to filling out the continuous and comprehensive evaluation forms without actually assessing the children. The result: children were promoted without even mastering basic skills. As Dr. Vimala Ramachandran, a former professor at the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, pointed out, no detention became no testing, and in many schools, no teaching. The system was fundamentally flawed. The vision of continuous evaluation and individualized learning was never fully implemented, and students were often left behind. Fast forward to 2019, the first amendment to the Right to Education Act allowed states to decide whether or not they wanted to reinstate the detention system. Many states, 18 to be exact, opted to reintroduce the possibility of detaining students who failed to meet promotion criteria. However, the system was still not foolproof. In 2024, the Union government made another major change to the rules, extending the detention policy to even central government-run schools. Students in classes 5 and 8 who fail to meet promotion standard will now face the possibility of being held back. However, they will get a second chance. After 2 months of remedial teaching, they will be given a re-examination. But why was this rollback necessary? Data from various surveys, including the respected ASA report by the NGO Pratham, showed a disturbing trend in India's school. In 2022, only 42.8% of Class 5 students could read a Class 2 level text, down from 50.5% in 2018. The numbers of basic arithmetic were similarly worrying. These statistics highlighted a severe learning gap that was worsened by the disruptions caused by COVID-19 pandemic. With these alarming statistics, it became clear that simply promoting children without assessing their learning wasn't a sustainable solution. Joseph Emmanuel, a former academic director at the CBSE, put it bluntly, saying, "In the name of promoting all students, we are adversely affecting them in later lives. Students are being promoted without acquiring the necessary skills, and this was impacting the academic progress in later grades." So what have schools been allowed to do under the new rules? Schools are now tasked with more responsibilities. Teachers are expected to monitor the students' progress closely. If a child is found struggling, the teacher must identify the learning gaps and provide specialized input. The school head must also oversee the progress of any child held back, ensuring that the child receives adequate support. This change aims to bring more accountability to the system. However, the real question is there something wrong with the appraisal system itself? The appraisal system under the no detention policy was deeply flawed. Continuous and comprehensive evaluation, also known as CCE, was introduced as an alternative to final exams, but it was poorly implemented due to a lack of resources, training, and teachers' involvement. The result was a system that was ineffective in assessing students' true abilities. So, what are the best ways to test a child's learning? Experts believe that learning should be accessed regularly and through a variety of methods such as quizzes, group activities, projects, and one-on-one discussions. It's not just about memorizing for a final exam, but about tracking a child's progress throughout the year. Teachers must be trusted to make these assessments, and they need to be equipped with the right tools and training to do so effectively. This brings us to a crucial point. Who should be held accountable? In the past, the blame was often being placed on students when they fail. But what about the teachers? Dr. Ramachandran advocates for holding teachers accountable for their students' learning outcome. Too often, teachers focus on the more responsive students while neglecting those who might need more help, particularly from lower socio-economic backgrounds. There is a need for a rigorous teachers' appraisal system to ensure that teaching is inclusive and effective. Incentives for teachers who perform well, along with consequences for those who don't, could help foster a more inclusive and accountable system. But more importantly, we need to trust our teachers and equip them to make the best decision for their students. So what's the way forward? The focus should be made on regular formative assessments at the school level. Teachers are the best judges of a child's learning, and with the right support, they can help bridge the learning gap that has emerged over the years. That's it for today's video. The rollback of the no detention policy may be controversial, but it highlights a broader issue in our educational system: the need for better, more consistent assessments, teachers' accountability, and most importantly, a focus on truly understanding and addressing each child's learning needs. What do you think about the rollback of the no detention policy? Do you believe that these changes will make a positive difference? Let us know in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more insightful videos on education. Thank you for watching.